We are Pia Orlean
and Cullen Baird Smith,
bringing wisdom from the stars through our Pleiadian friends, Laarkmaa. Hello, dear ones. We are Laarkmaa, and we are here to support you on your evolutionary journey. Today, we wish to speak with you about the most important right that you have. Everyone focuses upon their rights. In fact, you think a lot about your rights in terms of what you have to fight for, what you need, what you have, what you do not have. Oftentimes, you focus upon the right to be free, which is absolutely a very important right. Freedom means much more than you realize, because freedom also means not being attached to addictive patterns, not being attached to habitual behaviors, not being attached to dysfunctional relationships or inappropriate jobs or locations. Freedom means being free to follow whatever your heart tells you to do, when and where it is appropriate. So the right to be free is the most important right. You also focus upon the right to be heard, the right to be seen. You want to be recognized for who you are. And these are important rights also in your third dimensional personalities. However, you are much larger than your third dimensional personality. And sometimes you get trapped in needing to be seen or needing to be heard in the way that your ego wishes for you to be seen and heard. So focus upon your right to be heard and your right to be seen, but expand it by allowing you to be transparent, full of integrity, full of wishing to share yourself with others, and all of these things, rather than getting caught up in the dramas that are so often a part of human nature. The right to be heard turns into a fight. The right to be seen turns into some showy behavior rather than just demonstrating who you are. So the right to be heard and the right to be seen are excellent rights that you have for your human experience, but we are trying to help you move beyond that to know what's more appropriate for you in your evolutionary journey. You also have the right not to be hungry, not to be cold, not to be controlled. That's a particularly big one now, because you are ever being controlled by the design of the dark and AI to try to control the human species. So the right not to be controlled is very much appropriate and in the forefront of everyone's thoughts as you move through this challenging time of conflict, chaos, and new beginnings and possibilities. These are all very important rights, and we would not deny you any of these because they are all part of your experience. But we would ask you not to get stuck in these. And the way not to be stuck on any one particular right that is your right is to remember your natural birthright to be in the feeling state of love, joy, trust, and compassion, and to remember that your emotions are there to guide you into different ways of thinking, different and larger perspectives, and different ways of being in the world, not just staying in the same loops of behavior that are keeping you feeling stuck, keeping you feeling trapped, and helping you not at all because you just travel in a loop. You are trying to break free of the loop, break free of the patterns, trying to exercise whatever it takes to have your right to freedom, your right not to be controlled. In this process and evolutionary movement, you also are always keeping in your heart the constant reminder of doing things for the highest good of all. And this brings us to the point of reminding you you are moving away from separation and into unity. As you do that, it brings up the most important right you have. This may be one that does not come to mind immediately. You don't think about this one very often. But your most important right is the right to choice. You're living on a planet of choice. And while you may feel you have very few choices in a world that is narrowing down and giving you more controls and more limitations on a daily basis, you must learn to focus upon the one choice that you do have. You are trying to move into a parallel reality. You're trying to, what some call, jump timelines, move into a different dimension, become a multidimensional being. All of these things are your pathway, your highest choice in your evolutionary journey. So, the thing that is most appropriate and important for you to remember, whether you feel you are being attacked, whether things are closing down, whether you are feeling that you are limited in any or all ways, all of these third dimensional limitations are not the limitations that control you ultimately. You have the choice always to accept whatever comes your way, do what you can to change it, and choose to keep your vibration as high as possible. Because if the dark does not recognize that you shake in your boots when they do something to control you, they lose a grip on trying to control you. You must choose always to keep your vibration high, keep your heart calm and peaceful, and move through, around, over, or under like water, the water that you are, every obstacle that comes your way. The power of choice is far more potent than you truly realize. And as you practice this, using it more and more on a daily basis, you'll begin to understand that the faster you calm your heart after something restricts you or limits you in some way, the more power you have for the next go round, the more power you have to open up to more freedom. The power of choice is the highest, most valuable power you have, especially now in this time of change and limitation. Use the power of choice to remember your natural state of love, joy, trust, and compassion. Be compassionate with yourself. Let your anger flow through you, not drag you down. Let your sadness flow through you also, not drown you in tears and heaviness. Let it all pass through you, remembering that these things are only third dimensional limitations, and in your larger aspect of the totality of who you are, as you step into multidimensionality, every choice you make for the highest good of all, with your heart and the highest vibration, gives you the choices of all the other options that you wish. It will take practice, but we trust you can do it, for we've been watching you on this evolutionary journey for a long time. And as you learn to manage the choice to stay in that high vibration, you will find you come closer to freedom. You will find you come closer to being seen, being heard, having the abundance you need so you are not hungry or are not limited. Your power of choice will become stronger and stronger and stronger. So while it may seem it is lessening and getting weaker by the day, the more you operate from your heart and choose for the highest vibration you can maintain, the more the power of choice becomes potent and powerful. We leave you with these suggestions today to help guide you and lift you on this journey. We love you. Good always.
Check out our books, card deck, calendars, and articles at laarkmaa.com. That's LAARKMAA.com.